Ball of nuke deal with Iran in U.S. court. MSC, EU eyeing new security strategy, says Kaja Kallas. Netanyahu says U.S. deal with Iran must dismantle nuclear infrastructure. North Korea's new Congress to reset arms goals as gaps seen in 2021 plan. As nuclear negotiations between Iran and the United States resume in Geneva, attention is shifting from whether a deal is possible to whether both sides, particularly Washington, have the political will to rebuild trust. The talks take place against a backdrop of deep mistrust following the collapse of the 2015 nuclear agreement, which unraveled after the United States withdrew in 2018. That decision continues to shape the diplomatic landscape as both nations attempt to navigate a more complex regional environment. Iranian officials say the responsibility now rests with the United States to demonstrate its commitment to a lasting agreement. Tehran maintains that it remained compliant with the previous deal for a period after the U.S. exit, only scaling back its obligations when promised economic benefits failed to materialize. Iran has indicated it is open to negotiations focused strictly on nuclear issues, provided discussions respect the country's sovereignty and national interests. Officials also reiterate that nuclear weapons are not part of Iran's defense doctrine and describe the program as peaceful in nature. Tehran has signaled willingness to address technical concerns and accept monitoring measures within a transparent framework, moves that could help pave the way toward a renewed agreement. With memories of past negotiations still looming, the upcoming Geneva talks are widely viewed as a critical test of whether diplomacy can overcome years of tension and restore a measure of stability. European Union Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas has announced that she is working with European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen on a new European security strategy aimed at confronting rising global threats. Kallas said the plan will address every dimension of security, with defense at its core, as Europe adapts to what she described as a more hostile geopolitical environment. She warned that Russia's ambitions extend beyond eastern Ukraine, citing concerns over hybrid warfare and alleged sabotage of critical infrastructure across Europe. Russia's maximalist demands cannot be met with a minimalist response, she said. Kallas emphasized that strengthening Ukraine is the starting point for broader European defense, while also highlighting the need for institutional reform to make the European Union more agile. Responding to criticism about Europe's global standing, she defended the bloc's resilience and achievements, rejecting claims of civilizational decline. She also pointed to EU expansion as a strategic counter to Russian influence, noting that 9 Eastern European nations, including Ukraine, are candidates for membership. The proposed strategy signals Europe's growing determination to take greater control of its security in an increasingly uncertain world. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says any nuclear agreement between the United States and Iran must go beyond limiting uranium enrichment and instead require the full dismantling of Iran's nuclear infrastructure. Speaking at a gathering of major American Jewish organizations, Netanyahu expressed skepticism about the upcoming U.S.-Iran negotiations, but stressed that enriched material must be removed and the equipment used for enrichment eliminated entirely. His remarks come ahead of a second round of talks between Washington and Tehran, as both sides attempt to resolve their long-standing dispute over Iran's nuclear program and avoid a potential military confrontation. Netanyahu also addressed the ongoing war in Gaza, stating that Israel still needs to, quote, complete the job of destroying the territory's tunnel network. He said roughly 150 kilometers have already been dismantled out of an estimated 500 kilometers. In addition, the Israeli leader signaled a long-term shift in relations with Washington, proposing a gradual phase-out of U.S. military aid over the next decade once the current agreement, worth $3.8 billion annually, expires in 2028. Netanyahu said Israel's strong economy makes the transition possible, adding that the goal is to evolve the relationship with the United States from one based on aid to one defined by strategic partnership. North Korea is expected to announce new weapons development goals at its upcoming Ninth Party Congress, as leader Kim Jong-un continues efforts to modernize the country's military capabilities. While nuclear weapons and ballistic missiles remain central to Pyongyang's defense strategy, analysts say progress has been uneven in conventional systems, such as drones, submarines, and space-based surveillance, technologies that could enhance battlefield coordination and strengthen pressure without crossing the nuclear threshold. At the previous Party Congress in 2021, Kim called for advanced weapons including hypersonic missiles, solid-fuel intercontinental ballistic missiles, reconnaissance satellites, and a nuclear-powered submarine. State media has since reported progress in several of these areas, including unmanned strike equipment and electronic warfare tools. Recent images have shown Kim overseeing drone tests, with officials emphasizing the growing importance of unmanned systems and artificial intelligence in future conflicts. Analysts believe North Korea is expanding both drone development and production capacity. Some reports also suggest potential cooperation between North Korea and Russia on drone manufacturing, a move experts warn could carry serious security implications for the Korean Peninsula and the wider Northeast Asian region. The expected announcements signal Pyongyang's continued push to strengthen its military posture amid rising geopolitical tensions.